this episode, Mark and I get to meet the fantastic Isaac Howlett, lead singer, frontman for the brilliant Empathy Test, a band that we've loved for quite a few years. So we're delighted that we managed to get Isaac on to have a chat about the band and the US tour, etc. And he turned out to be another amazing guest. So I really hope you enjoy our conversation, as I say, with the brilliant Isaac Howlett from Empathy Test.
You're busted.
Some Busted, yeah. I get mixed up with Busted and McFly.
Yeah,
they were around at the same time, weren't they?
Yeah. You can have McFly if you want.
You can walk away, empty-handed.
I love the fact that Monsters didn't it cover its, or when you did the crowdfunding thing for Monsters, I might be wrong, it did 20 minutes or something. It raised
Yeah.
If that's,
we kind of
validation, that was it.
Yeah, we cheated a little bit because the first two albums came out at the same time in 2017, which is another long story. But effectively, we didn't release an album for 4 years because we wanted to make sure that we had an audience that was actually going to buy it when it came out. By which point we kind of had too much material. We liked everything that we'd released, and there weren't any tracks that we were like, that doesn't deserve to be on an album. So we ended up releasing 2 albums, and that was our first crowdfunder, and that was, we asked for we made a target of £4,000, and that was funded in something like 10 hours. It went live at midnight or something, or 1 a.m. and then by 10 o'clock the next day it was already funded. And that was a real genuine surprise, because I guess at that point we didn't quite realize how big an audience that we'd managed to accrue. And then so when Monsters came out 3 years later, I set the same target of 4,000, even though obviously I knew we could make way more than that, because I just wanted to see how quickly we could do it the second time. And it was 20 minutes apparently, and that's independently verified by Karen Sewell.
You're obviously setting your price too cheap, I reckon. You need to.
Yeah, but I just want, I wanted to see how quickly we could do it, and it was 10 hours the first time, 20 minutes the second time.
So what's the target for the next one? 5
minutes. I'll make it 4,000 again and see if we can do it in 20 seconds. I don't know. It feels a little bit like things have slowed down a bit in recent years, plateaued, and that's mostly down to the pandemic, of course. We were on this real steady trajectory, and I remember in 2019 it was like, things were really taking off. In that year we supported VMV Nation, who are like one of the biggest names in the sort of alternative electronic scene in Europe, and then went straight into a tour with Covenant, who are like their kind of rival, and then we went to America with Aesthetic Perfection, and then came back and did a German tour that was supposed to also be with Aesthetic Perfection, but Daniel was ill, so we ended up doing the shows as a headline artist. And it was like, wow, like things are really just going up and up.
Yeah.
And then and then it was like, the rug was just pulled from beneath us, and all of the plans that we had for 2020, we a headline US tour of our own, another German tour, another UK tour, everything cancelled. And I mean, luckily we had the album to release, so that kind of gave us some money to tide us over. But then in 2020 there was no touring at all, and then 21 we did one small tour in Germany. The next year pretty much the same thing. So it was like 3 years of nothing. It sort of took a while to recover psychologically from that. I still haven't quite, found my feet again and kind of got back on that kind of trajectory. So yeah, it's been, I mean, it's been obviously tough for everyone.
When can we expect album number 4?
Yeah, well, this is it's a difficult situation in that myself and Adam, the producer member, have found ourselves in very different places on a personal level and on a creative level.
Right.
And I've written enough new songs for a new album, and he has had them for a year. And he always needs a kind of spark, some kind of inspiration that tells him how the new record's going to sound. And with the last one with Monsters, it was a new song that me and Chrissy and Ollie, our drummer and keyboard player at the time, we were kind of jamming it in sound checks on that German tour that I just mentioned. And there was something about the song and the way it sounded, like in this empty venue with loads of natural reverb on it. And when I played it to Adam, he was like, this is how the new album's going to sound. And at the moment, we haven't found that kind of catalyst. And it's slightly difficult as well, me now living in Europe, in Austria. So I don't see him as much as a friend. That probably doesn't help. And I've been pushing him a lot, and it's basically had the opposite effect from what I wanted to achieve.
Yeah, I understand.
So it's a difficult situation, and at the moment I'm not really sure how to move things forward. To me, it's like we've got to make a new album, and to Adam, it's like, well, I'm only going to make a new album when I feel like it. The fact that there are no limitations, that could really go anywhere. It's like he needs to hear something that makes him go, this is what it sounds like. And suddenly all of my songs, which he were like doesn't know what to do with, suddenly he knows exactly what he's got to do with.
I guess as fans, myself and Mark, including everyone on this channel, just want to hear and see more of it. So
yeah.
But I'll totally, and thank you for your honesty there, mate. Appreciate it.
You know, I'm thinking about releasing some solo material to kind of tide things over, keep things running. So that's kind of my idea at the moment.
Now follow the road through the tunnel of trees to the big wide open field, and take a left up the muddy track to the house where I grew up. And here is the the place. When I die, I want you to bury me.
Mate, I mean, obviously one of the things Mark and I promote a lot is all new bands and artists. Is there any new artists or bands that have made your ears prick up recently you can recommend to our listeners that you kind of thought, oh, I like them? Or
it's always a difficult one, because the way that people kind of consume music these days has changed quite a lot because of streaming. Very often you're kind of just like hearing one song from people throwing it on a playlist. So whenever someone says, like which people, it's like always a bit kind of difficult to remember. Normally have to consult. What I normally do is consult. I have a playlist on Spotify where I put, everything that I hear that I like, I just throw in this playlist.
I just find it fascinating because obviously Mark and I recommend a lot of music. A load of people on our Facebook page, it's great actually. I mean, really, just for people to dive in and go, hey, look, this is out, check this out, check that out. So we're getting thousands of people now recommending stuff.
I've got two little girls and they hijack my Spotify. So whenever my most watched come out at the end of the year, I mean, I'm doing the same as what you're doing. I'm going down the list.
Yeah.
Busted. I've got Busted. Pepper. Disney Princesses.
Yeah, if your kids don't actually touch your phone.
Frozen. It's like,
Yeah.
All credibility is lost when it gets published at the end of the year. Like
my top artist always comes up as Empathy Test, where I've been rehearsing with it or remembering lyrics or whatever, which is always quite embarrassing. But of course, the big new name in kind of synth music at the moment is Caroline Polachek, which I don't know. There's just like a real refreshing energy to what she's doing, and it doesn't really sound like anything else that's around. And the production's amazing. Her voice is amazing. So yeah, big thumbs up for her. Just having a look what else new is coming up.
Any Busted?
No, Busted. No. The closest I've got to that on my list is the Harry Styles track, As It Was.
Okay.
Which is like you can hear the influences there, like
there's another really annoying thing on Spotify, as if music wasn't disposable enough. They've got like speeded up versions of songs on there.
Oh yeah, and slowed down as well.
Yeah, so if my girls were listening to a George Ezra song, but they prefer the speeded up version, which is about
I don't even know what song it is.
But,
yeah, I mean it's there's all kinds of really horrible stuff that's going on because of streaming. Like this I mean, no one's got an attention span anymore. So suddenly we're getting tracks that are less than 3 minutes long. Which I mean is done before with punk and stuff, but specifically making songs so that they get streamed more is it's really weird. I'm a bit embarrassed about how I'm not really giving you any.
Okay, so your favorite artist is Empathy Test. We got that.
Yeah.
One of ours as well.
I almost hear you thinking about him and all that you leave behind lies heavy on your mind, heavy on my mind. But I got this funny feeling that everything will work out. This funny feeling that
Isaac, what is your favorite Empathy Test moment? Be it a show, be it a song, be it a moment that really stands out. You think that, that was great.
I don't know, that there's been so many. We've just been really lucky and they've just done some really amazing things. I mean, the first real real crazy moment where we were like, wow, like what the hell are we doing? was when we played a Wave Gothic Treffen. We didn't even know what it was at the time because it's kind of a goth festival. I mean, it's an alternative music festival in Germany, but it's like the biggest one. And I remember the first show that we did at the Seabright Arms in London, 120 capacity, and we nearly sold it out at our first show. And then there were people who have flown from Sweden and Germany there, and I was like, this is weird. Like something's going on here. And after the show, this German guy started talking to me at the bar and was like, great show, really enjoyed it. I flew over from Germany to see you. And I'm like, oh wow, okay. He's like, I have this little festival in Germany that I'd like you to play at. And I'm imagining like a marquee in a field, like when he said little festival, but he was obviously, kind of joking. And I don't know whether he probably expected me to know what he was talking about. And he was like, it's called Wave Gothic Treffen. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then he was like, yes, I really want you to play. And I was like, okay, great. And I didn't really think anything of it. Didn't take his email address or phone number or anything. So yeah. And then I spoke to Mark at a record label, which is now Stars and Letters. And he was like, well, his exact words were, and you might have to bleep this out, but
that's all right.
Get the fuck out. And I was like, what? He was like, that's only the biggest like goth festival in the world. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. And he was like, have you got his contact details? And I'm like, no. But eventually I managed to track him down and sort of work out how to progress things forward. So yeah, we ended up playing at this festival. And when we got to the venue, we were just like, there's no way we can be playing in here. It was like this huge dome venue that you could probably have got a few thousand people in there. Wow. And there were probably about 1,000 people watched us play. And we really didn't have a clue what we were doing at this point. I think that was our like 4th show max we'd done before, 4th or 5th show. And we didn't have in-ear monitors. We weren't playing to a click. We were just relying on the stage wedges to do what we were doing. And also, like, up until that point, our drummer, who was just playing drum pads, was basically playing over the drums on the track. So it was kind of just for show. But we decided, hey, this is a big show and we want you to go, like, we want you to actually be playing it. I mean, it's probably one of the like accidentally cruelest thing that I've ever done to another musician, because he should have had a click track in his ear to be able to do that, and of course he didn't. And the people that set us up on the stage were, I think, like students or something. All so right. They set us up so far away from the monitors that we couldn't actually hear it. And because the venue was so big, there was kind of a delayed like echo off of this dome. So all of us were like completely struggling to keep in time, and it was horrible, to be up there in front of 1,000 people. It was like, this is our big chance. And I just felt like we completely blew it. It was like, oh my God. We came off stage and we just all stood there behind the stage like, what the hell just happened? And then I suddenly realized, like, oh, we're supposed to go and sell our CDs. There was like a merch stand set up at the site. We're supposed to go sell our CDs. So we quickly ran round, and there was a girl there helping us out, and she was completely swamped. Like everyone had just gone from watching the show straight to the stand to buy CDs. And we were there for half an hour or something, just signing, handing over, selling. And I think we sold all of the CDs. We had 200 CDs with us. We sold all of them in a half an hour. Wow. And then I was like, well, it can't have been that bad.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously.
So we felt a lot better about it after that. And that was kind of another moment in which we were just really lucky and apparently did a good enough job. I mean, there's still people that talk about that performance now, I think, because it was just so different from everything else. I mean, I do wonder whether the sound engineer maybe turned the drums like off because they were so out of time or something. I don't know, or had them very low in the mix.
Yeah, I mean, we've done that, Andy, haven't we? We've played shows where on stage the sound is shit, and you walk off thinking that was awful. Like you're 5 minutes into the set, you're really down because you think it just sounds awful. But what's being played out front is totally different.
Yeah, I mean, it's way better for us now. Now we, thanks to Chrissy, our drummer, first drummer that came along and wanted to play live drums, and she created a setup for us that was actually fit for purpose, and now we all have our own mix in our ears, and we only get sent the vocals and the keyboard from front of house so that we can turn that up and down during the show, but everything else is kind of already pre-mixed in our ears, and that means that most of the time you have like a certain standard of what you can hear in your ears. I'm a nervous wreck again. Still we all have to pretend we're fine.
I love this question only because never get it right. Desert Island disc, if you could only take one bit of vinyl on a desert island, what would it be?
I just imagine like playing a vinyl record on an island.
You get a hi-fi as well.
Okay.
We'll buy a turntable.
and electricity and all that sort of stuff.
And a dust cover. Stop the sand getting in there. I don't know.
I know it probably changed daily, so
yeah, I'd probably go with The Cure, Disintegration or something, but that might be a little bit depressing if I'm stuck on a desert island on my own.
Good shout, though.
Or maybe something a bit more fun like Paul Simon, Graceland.
Or Busted.
Some Busted, yeah. I get mixed up with Busted and McFly.
Yeah,
they were around at the same time, weren't they?
Yeah. You can have McFly if you want.
Which one's better in your opinion?
Busted did Year 3000.
Okay, yeah.
What I go to school for, that seems to be a regular.
Oh gosh, yeah. Wow.
Mate, listen, touring US fairly shortly, right?
Oh yeah, that's yeah. It's we fly out on the 6th of October, so yeah, it's coming up super fast. So we still haven't booked our accommodation yet. That's like next one. Yeah, and there's still 3 more shows that haven't been confirmed. But at this point, I'm kind of thinking that they're not going to happen. So I'm
right. It's a big old tour. You got what 30 plus dates in the US, I think, and
Yeah.
another 14 or so in Germany.
Yeah, well that's the tour we're doing in America and Canada is, like I said, is basically been cancelled, postponed for three years or something. And of course, once America opened up, because they weren't even letting people from Europe into America for quite a long time.
Yeah.
When they finally opened up again in 2022, everyone wanted to go on tour there. So there was a massive backlog with visas. Mine arrived 2 days after we were due to fly out, and I had to make the really difficult decision to cancel it. And then we had to rebook it all again for this year. So this is like the Monsters tour of North America, even though Monsters came out in 2020. So, and then next year is our 10th anniversary, as I said, and we've already announced the German part, because obviously German booking agent, always straight in there with Germany. But there's hopefully going to be some more European dates, and the UK tour first 2 weekends of April, so keep those free. But yeah, North America is 30 dates in the US and 3 dates in Canada or something.
And I missed it in the UK last time, so I mean, it'd be great to catch up with you guys and see you in the UK. I look forward to that. Isaac, it's been a real joy and honour to speak to you this morning. We really
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
you.
Hopefully I didn't do too much rambling.
Hey, you know what? I love the honesty, the energy, and it's brilliant. And as I said when I met you at the garage, it really, just as Mark and I, we're big fans, and as Mark said, great to have you on. And you know, we're just honoured that people like you want to come and chat to us, because you know we are just fans, mate. No, it's been amazing, and you know, massively appreciate your honesty as well. It's been fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
We really look forward to catching up with you when you play the UK next. Really looking forward to that. But you know, thanks again. I mean, it's long overdue. I mean, it's a real joy for us to speak to you. We love your stuff. So good luck with everything. Sounds amazing. Can't wait to see you in London.
Yeah,
cool.
totally, mate. And if you are in London in March, you come and see our show.
Thank you.
No
very
problem.
much.
Thank you very much for having me. Okay, thanks guys.
Cheers,
Bye.
mate. See you later. Bye.
Frozen in the holes they've choked us in. You know we can't break it. You know we can't break this. Slowly disappearing out of view. Holding on to you. Hold on tight. Let go lightly. One last night. Battered and bruised but not broken. You walk right in and walk right out. You walk right in.
So that's it for another episode of Electronic Cafe. I hope you enjoyed our chat, as I say, with the brilliant Isaac Howlett from Empathy Test. Isaac, thank you so much, mate. Absolute honour to have you on the show. Really enjoyed it, and look forward to seeing you sometime early in the new year, I hope. And good luck with the US tour, my friend. Right, before I go, March the 16th, 2024, Electronic Cafe Live Volume 2 is coming. What a lineup we've got. We've got Peter Dugal. We've got Tiny Magnetic Pets. We have the incredible Wolfgang Fleur. Yes, the Wolfgang Fleur. And if that wasn't all enough, an amazing DJ set by the fabulous Mr. Mark Reeder, coming all the way from Berlin to make your ears happy. And I've just seen some amazing footage of Mark at the moment DJing for the Incredible New Order, opening up for those guys all around Europe. And he's DJing at our event. I mean, come on, get your tickets. Mark, buddy, if you can put a link down below, as per usual. And Mark and I look forward to seeing you guys at that event. And of course, on the next edition of the Electronic Cafe. Stay safe. Bye-bye for now.